Hey guys, Pretzelman 945 here. Welcome back to another video. Um, so I realized it's been a while since I did a Pixar film tier list, and I did see the newest one in theaters, and I really enjoyed it, and so I wanted to make an updated Pixar films tier list. That's what this video is. Okay. Starting with original Toy Story, I think that Toy Story 1 is a B tier. I think that this is a solid film. Um, it's just like when we get to, and in fact, I'm gonna have it up next so we can talk about it next. I just have a lot more nostalgia, and I feel like I remember a lot more from Toy Story 2. Because I watched Toy Story 2 a lot more as a kid, and I think it's got a better plot. But I think that the idea behind it is just so creative and the kind of just seeing the toys come alive in every one of these movies is amazing. And considering this movie does deserve massive credit because it was the very first uh completely CG animated movie, and that is a very impressive feat. And yeah, some of the animation still looks a bit janky to this day. I think that it still holds up. I just don't like it as much as the other Toy Story films. Now speaking of which, Toy Story 2, I'm going to put in A tier because I just simply think that it has um the better plot. I think it's got more interesting characters, like the types of toys introduced. I think the Prospector is a cool villain. And also I just remember and have a lot more nostalgia for this film. Um, so yeah. Okay. Story 4 is tricky because think when I did my previous tier list, I did put it up in A tier. I'm gonna put it in B behind the first Toy Story. I think that this is a really solid film. I like the idea that it tells like an epilogue to Woody's story. I think Forky is hilarious, and I like a lot of the messages in this film, like with every Toy Story film. Um, just the thing that kind of brings it down for me is the fact that I don't really like Gabby as a villain. I think she's a very, very weak villain. Um, and Toy Story 3 S tier. This should not be up for debate at all. I think that Toy Story 3 is my second favorite Pixar movie of all time. Um, I don't remember exactly, but like maybe I can actually find it of like where it my favorite but I think it's been a while since I made that list. So uh the yeah, oh here we go. Yeah. It's my fifth favorite animated movie of all time because that list has not changed since I last made it. So yeah. My fifth favorite animated movie of all time. I love every single character in this movie. Lotso is an incredible villain. I love him as a villain so much. Such a unique character. Um, and everything in this movie is so fun. Like the whole prison escape aspect is just absolutely hilarious. There are so many incredible jokes regarding that, and it's so good. Um, A Bug's Life, I'm gonna put it in just because, like, I don't think it's a particularly memorable film. Um, Especially compared to some of Pixar's other like golden age slash earlier movies, I just never thought that A Bug's Life was as memorable. I don't think it's a bad movie. I just think it's okay. Monsters Inc. is S tier. Such a absolutely creative concept with fantastic characters. I love the bond between Mike and Sully is super fun to watch. Um, uh, and yeah, just incredible film. I love Monsters Inc. Um, Monsters University, I'm gonna put in B tier. I always liked this movie. I like the whole Revenge of the Nerds plotline, and now that I am in college myself, thinking back on this movie, I kind of um can laugh a bit more at all the college stereotypes that they throw into this movie, and I think it's a very cute movie, and I think it's a good prequel. Finding Nemo is also S tier. Because I mean, this movie is I love the way that it gives so much personality to such a large variety of different ocean creatures, and I think that this is like one of the movies that like in a similar way to Cars we're gonna talk about in a little bit, like really brought an aspect of a thing I found really cool as a kid. It made it even, you know, like ocean animals. When a little kid goes to an aquarium, they think it's really cool. When you watch Finding Nemo, because of all the personality that's given to all the sharks and the fish, and even like the fish in the fish tank, it gives so much personality. Dory is an iconic character. I love Dory. Um, and yeah, this film is just um fantastic. I love the father-son relationship. I love all the themes around that. It's so powerful to me. Um, and yeah, I honestly I love that just being like the core of the story itself because it's such a good core for a story around making ocean animals just seem really freaking cool. Uh, Finding Dory, I'm gonna put in B tier as well. I think that this is like basically the same level as Monsters University for me because although it's a sequel, I think that it is a very fun movie. Um, I like the way that it gives more personality, different kinds of sea creatures that weren't seen in the first movie, and I like the way that it explores Dory's story. Um, was it a necessary film? Maybe not, but I think that it's a very fun sequel, and I like what it explores about Dory's character. Incredibles is also S tier. This is the exact same thing I was talking about with the sea animals in Finding Nemo. It does the same thing for superheroes with Incredibles because um the way that it just makes superheroes seem like the coolest thing ever, I just adore. Um and I just I love what it does. I also I love the family dynamic as well. I love the way that each family member interacts with each other. It's super funny, and looking back, um, as an older now, like the sibling dynamics are so relatable to what uh my experience is like with siblings as a kid. Um, so, I greatly relate to like all the family dynamics in this film. And I think that that part of it is fantastic. The action is amazing. Syndrome is a very cool villain, in my opinion. I really like the way he works. Um, I think there's just an incredible movie, pun absolutely intended. I'll order the S tier when I'm done. I think, or not. Um, Incredibles 2, I wanted to love so badly, but I have to put it in C. Now to get to the positive parts, I think that it's focusing on elastic on uh um Helen were fantastic. Having her take the lead role in the film, that was super badass. I absolutely love that. That might be the best part of the film, in my opinion, in addition to more kick-ass superhero action. Um, what really brings this film down for me is the fact that I think Screenslaver is an incredibly weak villain. Um, I just don't think that Screenslaver has very interesting motivations, especially when compared to Syndrome. And also, I think a lot of the superhero powers in this movie were either lazy, like the new ones introduced, were either like incredibly lazy or just weird, like really, really strange. Like I feel like in this movie when they were trying to come up with new superpower ideas, they just kind of were struggling a bit, and as a result, we get like combination powers. We get like powers that feel like a combination of two different ones that we've already seen, or just really, really strange superpowers, which don't really seem like they fit in Incredibles, even though it's like a world of superheroes, they seem like just a bit too extreme, and I don't know, that part was just weird. Um, okay. Cars is my favorite Pixar movie, and I do not give a single shit what anyone says. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's like my fourth or I already forgot the list, but I'm pretty sure it's like my fourth or third animated favorite animated movie of all time. Um, yeah, I think fourth movie. Just one above Toy Story 3. And it does the same exact thing that I talked about in terms of Finding Nemo and Incredibles, but like to another level, I think, in terms of the um like bringing cars to life as an idea, because every kid plays with toy cars, and I think that this movie just made them so much more awesome. This movie is one of my most watched movies of all time. I watched this like hundreds of times as a kid, probably, if not even into the thousands. Um, because I don't know, something just about how simplistic the story structure is. I just love. I love the idea behind Lightning McQueen's character. I love all of the different cars and radiator springs. They're all so expressive and full of personality, and they're also different from each other. And Mir as a character is so funny, and I love the kind of plot line about Hudson as like this retired car who becomes a fantastic mentor to Lightning McQueen, and I love Lightning McQueen's character arc. I love just everything about this movie, and I think I always will. And I don't care what anyone says, it's my favorite Pixar movie. Now, I think Cars 2 is the most overhated movie in existence. I like this movie. Um, it is not going higher than B tier, and in fact, I don't even think it's better than Finding Dory, to be honest. But um, I think that this is a good movie. I don't really mind the whole spy things, and I personally always really liked Mater, so I don't really mind him being center stage in this movie. And I think that the whole like international focus of the racing and kind of the personality that's put into cars from across the world is really interesting. um I just do think that the racing part should have been a bigger part of the movie. Because, while I do enjoy the mere spy antics, I do think that points take up a bit too much of the movie. But, like, I still enjoy this movie. I really enjoyed it when it came out. I used to love it a lot more, but like, I've seen better Pixar movies since then. I'm growing older, opinions change, but I still think it's a good movie. Don't really understand like almost every single ranking I see that puts Cars 2 as like the worst movie or second worst Pixar movie. I don't understand. Now, a Cars movie that I don't like is Cars 3. Um, and I don't know, this might be controversial because I generally see people rank Cars 3 very fairly highly, and on paper, I should love Cars 3. And I do love the idea behind it. I really like I think it's a very natural direction to take with the idea that Lightning McQueen is like this faded race car now, who's kind of going out of style. Um, and I really like the idea. Um, just what I think that this film had a really, really great premise, but it just absolutely fumbled the execution. Like, the idea of Cruz Ramirez as a character, as like the eccentric trainer, I think that that is all that her character should have been. I feel like it kind of goes against the core of Lightning McQueen's character to kind of have him suddenly turn into this like mentor type character like halfway through the movie, and um like her being the one that ended up surpassing Jack Storm at the end of the movie was just like a baffling decision to me. Like, I loved the idea of the premise of this movie, but just as the years have gone on, and I have not gone back to this movie, I don't think, and just the more I've thought about it, the more I've kind of like soured on it, just because I really don't like the decisions that were made with the idea of Cruz Ramirez's character. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense, and I think that there is a lot of like wasted potential in Cars 3, and it's very disappointing to me. Um, Ratatouille is easy S tier. It's just an absolutely magical film that brings so much life to the idea of cooking, and it's such a creative, imaginative film to see the kind of dishes that they make and to kind of see a rat cooking in Paris is just it's such a ridiculously creative idea that just made the golden age of Pixar so peak. Um, I don't think I need to explain much more than that. Now, this might be a bit of a hot take. I do enjoy Wally for what it is, and it does definitely get the top of the tier, but I don't know. Something about Wally, I do enjoy it. I think the themes and the idea behind it are really, really powerful. I really love the first half of the movie, but I do think the second half with the humans dragged. Um Sorry, I had to insert text. I think the second half of the movie with the humans drags um in comparison. Um but I do really like the kind of love story that forms between Wally and Eve. I think that's really, really cute. I don't know, something about Wally just doesn't click with me as much as the rest of the Golden Age Pixar movies. Up is S tier. This movie is better than the first 15 minutes. The entirety, yes, the first 15 minutes is some of the best Pixar ever, but so is the rest of the movie. I can't stand people that say that the first like 10 to 15 minutes is all there is to this movie. I think that the entire movie is such a beautiful journey of a film, and um, I love every single character in this movie. There's so much personality to every single one of them and all their relationships, and I think the villain is actually really interesting. Definitely not the strongest Pixar villain, but I think he's very interesting. Um, and all of that combines to easily make up an S tier film to me. Um, okay, we're gonna make a new tier. Um, this is solely for one movie, which I do think is like the only S tier Pixar movie, and I agree. Um, this movie fucking sucks balls. Um, Easily the worst Pixar movie. I don't know why Pixar just tried to make a Disney Pixar movie. Like a Disney princess movie, I mean. Um because it just does not work. I think that the character of Merida is incredibly like, you know, you would know on this channel that I don't really like Disney princess movies that much to begin with. I think there has to be a lot for me to rank a Disney princess movie pretty highly because I think a lot of them follow the same kind of generic formula, and that's exactly what Brave does. It is incredibly generic. I think Merida's character is extremely boring. I think that her relationship with her mom is weird, um and the main villain of the movie being this corrupted prince bear was always just super weird and just such a strange decision to me. Like I don't the character was just so bad. Everything in this movie is just awful. Easily the worst Pixar movie ever. Um, I have not seen Inside Out 2, so I'm just going to be straight honest with that. And that's because I have a very hot take. Inside Out for me is an E. Um, I don't know what it is. I think that the film has a very interesting concept, but I don't know what it is. I don't like this movie. Like every time I have rewatched it, I just have not enjoyed myself. I couldn't even really tell you a specific thing about it. I don't really like it. Um, I don't know what it is. Just something doesn't click with me in that movie, and I don't really enjoy it that much. Um, The Good Dinosaur, I think, is the definition of a C tier Pixar movie because I don't think it's a bad movie. Um, but it also doesn't really do anything to stand out either. I think the exploring the dinosaurs is cool, but like I feel like it doesn't really do enough with the interesting idea that proposed, like if the meteor that killed the dinosaurs just kind of didn't happen. Um, I think they could have done something more creative with that idea. But like I don't think it's a bad movie, just not one that I would ever go back to because it's pretty forgettable. Um, Coco, I think, is a fantastic movie. I love the kind of exploration of Day of the Dead type ideas and like the Latin American culture behind that. I think it's such a creative idea for a film. I love the way it's themed around music, and I love Miguel as a main character and his like arc of finding his family and the plot twist and the twist of villain in this movie is absolutely fantastic. It has beautiful animation, and it's a movie that I very much enjoy rewatching. Um, Awkward, I am not a fan of. I don't think it's a very interesting movie. I think that it came out probably at the wrong time, considering it was like really unfortunate timing for Onward, considering it was like a week after COVID or before COVID that this movie came out. Um, and I don't know, I think that the setting is very boring and I wasn't a huge fan of the characters. Um, Soul, I'm going to put an A. I think that Soul is an absolutely fantastic film. I think that it is such a beautifully creative idea. And I think the themes of this movie are extremely powerful, and I love both the IRL sections where like you can relate to the main character and his struggles in life to kind of be a musician, I think is just amazing. And then the like soul parts, I think is just a really, really interesting Pixar concept once again. Um, which I really, really enjoyed. I love Soul. I think it's a really good movie. Um, I have not seen Luca or Turning Red, though I think I would hate Turning Red because I did not want to watch it based on the trailers whatsoever. Um, Lightyear to me is a C tier film because I don't think it's a bad movie. It's similar way to The Good Dinosaur. Like, I liked it when I first watched it, but upon reflection, there isn't really that much to me that stands out about it. Socks is a very funny character, though. Um, I think the idea behind it is really cool, but like the Zarg twist just doesn't really make any sense, and I think that this movie was trying to be way deeper than it should have been, and it should and like the idea behind it was, I think it was trying to be way deeper of a film than the original concept was. Um, but I think it's just okay. And same thing with Elemental. I think that this is just a very average romance. I think the setting is kind of generic, but I don't think it's a bad film. It's just a very average. Um, and the most recent Pixar film to come out is Elio, and I'm gonna put this between Toy Story 1 and Toy Story 4 because I think this is a very, very fun movie. Um, I love the creative concept of the aliens and I like the themes behind it. And kind of the found parenthood between Elio and his aunt. I really like that a lot. Um, and the creativeness of the aliens was always just a lot of fun. And in my opinion, even though they're from different animation studios, like every time I think about it, I think that Elio is just the infinitely superior version of Home as a film in like every single aspect possible. Um, so I really enjoyed Elio. And yeah, that is gonna do it for my complete 2025 Pixar films tier list. I hope that you enjoyed the tier list. Let me know what you think in the comments. Tell me your favorite Pixar films as well, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.